Hello and welcome everyone to Speaking on Anime. So first off, got a little bit of housekeeping that we need to do here. I wanted to make you everybody aware of some updates on some things. I've still been fighting with YouTube over the channel strike that I received over the Horimiya video, and YouTube has come out and told me that they're not going to fix anything. They can't help me, and basically go pound sand. And then I got another copyright claim on another video. So anything to do with Amniplex, I will not be showing any videos because they've got some kind of a burr under their saddle about anybody using anything visual. And I still love Amniplex, but yeah, I can't. I'm not going to have people trying to kill my channel because of some silly stuff that's been going on in the past. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay. I've got a special guest with me today. It's my daughter, and we are going to be talking about the fantastic anime Seraph of the End, Vampire Reign. So this is another. I've been kind of breaking up the vampire ones that I'm doing because if not, I would so totally do nothing but vampire animes because I love vampire stuff. Also, I want to welcome Adega Outlaw and Chris Persia into the chat. Thank you guys for being here. And yes, Adega was number one. But okay, good. I was a little worried. But yeah. Thank you guys for being here. And so let's get started talking about this anime because I rewatched this one a couple weeks ago, and you guys all forgive me. This week has been phenomenally busy for me. I've been off from work all week, but I've been working my butt off in a bunch of other ways. For those of you who don't know, I'm starting my own business. I had to go over 650 miles to go get a set of trailers this week for me to be able to do for my company. I'm running power back to the shop that I have. We had to trench through my grass and tore up a bunch of water lines and had to replace and repair those. So it's been a hard week. And then yesterday I went up and helped my father-in-law brand cattle for about 7 hours. So I about couldn't move when I got out of bed this morning. But being 48, you don't bounce back really like you used to when you were younger. First time I've ever been involved in a branding. I mean, I worked with cows and stuff like that, but to actually be part of the branding process for the calves and stuff, it was very educational. But yeah, and my girls love to go up too. They had to work yesterday, so they didn't get to go. But yeah. So anyway, so when did you first watch? Do you remember when you first saw this anime?
It was probably during 2020 when we were all home. I really went through a big anime phase. I would just watch one after the other. I'd search forever to find stuff. So most of the ones that I've watched was in that time period.
Yeah, so I don't know how many of you guys who are in here today have actually seen this particular anime. It is a very action, not a whole lot of love story. There is a little bit of some unrequited love lines going through this, but I mean, really, it's really just pretty much an action adventure anime. Now, this is supposed to have a second season that I've never seen. It's supposed to have a second season called the Seraph of the End, Battle of Nagoya. And I have looked for it, and I cannot find it anywhere. It's supposed to be being brought out by Netflix, or at least brought to the US by Netflix. But I went looking for it and could not find it anywhere, but they talk about it quite a bit online. So I apologize. So this is really going to be kind of specifically to the first season, which...
No spoilers, which my dad's really good at.
So. No, I'm going to spoil the... You guys know, you can't talk about something without spoiling a little bit, at least a little bit. But so anyway, so this story really kind of want to give you guys a basic overview of what of a plot synopsis for those if you might have seen it or if you haven't seen it. This kind of give you an idea of what you're going to be in for. And I'm just going to read this off of fandom website because I thought they did a really good summary of it. So years ago, a lethal virus spreads across the world. wiping out most of humanity and allowing the vampires to enslave the remainder of the human race. For the next 4 years, Yuichiro Hakaria and his fellow orphans at the Hikaru orphanage are treated as livestock, being only allowed to live for their blood. Desperate for freedom, Yoshiro and his best friend Michaela hatch a plan to escape with their family to the outside world, hopefully free from the vampires, for only to have their attempt end in tragedy. As one of the only ones to make it out alive, Yoshiro joins the Japanese Imperial Demon Army, Japan's only hope in the fight against the vampires, in order to extract revenge on the vampires who killed his family. So these hail Cloud Sailing and Lady Mist, who just came in, welcome. But yes, this is just an action-packed, amazing anime, and the beginning is just heart-wrenching. It is so, like, I mean, seriously, you will be like, no. You can't start an anime like this. It reminds me of that. What's that anime where it's kids and something Neverland. It's like that one. It really pulls at the heartstrings. So seriously, the beginning of this anime, you see the virus hit Japan. And it's like instantaneous. Like it just starts taking people left and right. You see an airliner fall out of the sky and plow into the city. You see cars running through red lights, smashing into everything. And I mean, it's just really intense, kind of right from the get-go. People are dropping dead in the streets. It's not like, oh, I feel a little bit. It's like, and you're dead. I mean, that's how fast this virus attacks. And the thing is it's basically a man-made virus, we come to find out. Basically because humanity has been messing with things that they really shouldn't, because humanity likes to do stuff like that, like bringing back dinosaurs that have been extinct for that.
Sounds like an argument for a different.
Yeah, no, right? It sounds a lot like don't do Jurassic Park. And then somebody put that on there, that somebody was trying to create or bring back the mastodons today on Twitter. And I'm just like, yeah, you'd think people would watch enough movies that they'd be like, yeah, it's never a good idea. I mean, movies are entertainment, but they're also kind of a warning sign for don't create robots that are going to kill everybody. Don't bring back dinosaurs that will eat us all because they're bigger than we are. And I mean, it's just like, people ought to watch movies with a little bit of, oh, what is that? In the what's the movie? Tim Allen. It's the spoof. It's the spoof on Star Trek, basically, with Tim Allen, and I've just lost the name of it.
Is it like Spaceballs or something?
No, it's not Spaceballs, but it's somebody in the chat will know what. I have to use the chat as the other half of my brain because I'll be like, somebody help me out here. I can't remember. It's like right there. But yeah, no. Anyway, there's the guy that plays the security officer in that movie. Sigourney Weaver's about to walk out to go see the little aliens that look all cute and stuff, and he grabs her and is like, "Don't you guys ever? Did any of you ever watch the show?" Galaxy Quest. Thank you, Onega. That was, but it's one of my favorite lines from that because like it is kind of a thing where it's like pay attention to the entertainment because sometimes they're warning us about stuff. Anyway, so I don't know what it looked like. Lady Mist disappeared for a minute, and then she came in. Welcome back, Lady Mist. Did you like trip or something? No, anyway. So this starts out with the disease taking everybody out, and then basically there's like loudspeaker announcements, and you see the vampires going through the streets and rounding up everybody that's left, which is basically all of the kids. Anybody 13 years or younger did not get the disease, did not die from this plague. And so the vampires take this as an opportunity to basically enslave the entire human race. They go out, they grab them, and they take them to their underground lairs, which are basically cities underground. The real crux of this story starts at that point where we see there's about 6 or 7 kids. When that's where we meet Yuichiro and Michaela. And they're part of this group of kids. Some of them are about the same age, some of them are younger, and they're basically taking care of them. And Yashiro didn't really like the idea of being part of this family. He lost his family before. He didn't really want to settle into this, creating a new family with these little kids. And but eventually he does. And him and Michaela are basically the older brothers that are taking care of everybody.
Isn't it like Michaela or something?
And I might be saying, Michaela. I might be saying that wrong.
If that's
Yeah.
easier for you.
Micah, yeah. I get the pronunciations wrong. I'm terrible.
It sounds weird when you say Michaela. It's like, and then you say brothers, and it's like, oh.
Yeah, they're not really brothers, but they kind of become the older brothers of all these kids. And so basically, the Michaela. I'm going to say it wrong no matter what. Micah. And Yashiro are trying to figure out how to get away, how to escape, how to get their family away from these from the vampires. And so I'm gonna turn off our camera here for a second because it seems to be slowing down. My internet's so great here in Idaho, let me tell you. Seems if I leave the internet or my camera off, sometimes it speeds things up. So, so basically they come up with an escape plan. Micah is basically using one of the noble vampires, giving him extra blood because the vampires have rules that you cannot drink directly from a human being. But they try and get around this rule. Basically, they have to show up every other day or every couple of days, and they basically draw blood out of their necks. So the vampires have this rule of you can't just walk up and start drinking out of a kid. But I mean, that's basically the only good thing you can say about the vampires. I mean, they walk through at one point and just step on this little kid's hand. They act like they're nothing more than cattle. The humans are terribly, terribly mistreated by the vampires. So anyway, Micah is basically trying to ingratiate himself with one of the noble vampires called Fidrid, and he is how do you describe it?
Work.
Yeah, he is a piece of work. He's basically trying to decide how the best way to say it. He's kind of a faggy character that is just a conniving scumbag vampire. Like he's always doing bad things. Like he's always trying to scheme, and the worst kind of like the royal nobles and stuff from any time we know of them in history. Like, yeah, he's basically them. He's the character.
The cocky, bad personality.
Yeah.
Character.
So anyway, Micah's been going to him and basically giving him extra blood, letting him feed directly off of him for favors. Micah actually gets hold of a map how to get out of the thing and actually steals this Lord Fedrid's gun. And so they grab the kids. They're on their way out of this area, and they get intercepted just before they hit the passage that takes them to the outer world.
Oh, and that part killed me so much because it's
like
they see their freedom.
Yeah, the tunnel's right in front of them where they're going to be able to escape. And as you might expect, the scumbag has been planning this thing from the very beginning. So he allowed Micah to get the map. He allowed him to steal his gun, knowing that the gun wouldn't be able to kill him, and basically goes after and kills all these kids right in front of Micah and Yashiro. And it is like brutal, and it's vampires are fast and powerful, and it's just like it's happening like this. So and to kind of now I'm going to take a risk here, but I'm going to play a trailer, which it should be okay because it's a trailer, but
you
never know anymore. My luck has not been very good with anime trailers and being allowed to show things. YouTube's been kind of a bunch of buttheads about it. So let me share my screen here and we'll watch this trailer so you can kind of get a feel, if you haven't seen this, of what it is you're going to be looking at. Make sure I share the audio. Okay. So, all right, let's go ahead and we're going to watch this real quick. And okay, I got it. and then we'll talk about it afterwards. It kind of shows the scene of what happens after these kids have been taken out.
Tell me, Gurren, what do you think the future holds for all of us? What is the point in living in a world like this one, fighting extinction? I'm sure you've asked yourself that.
Hope you guys can hear that okay. We're not hearing it very well. It's one of those things where you turn it up and then the regular sound comes back and it blows your eardrums out.
I think the characters in this are so good.
Yes.
They're really well written. You understand most of their motives.
And the animation is fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Their fight scenes are really good. Oh, Mika. You know, I was closer.
You were wrong too. All right.
Well, it's also been years since I've seen this compared to someone
whatever.
who watched it during the
whatever.
week.
You're just making stuff up now.
Mm.
Anyway, so
We're just butthurt.
so Adega said nope. So I don't know if you guys heard that very well, but you at least got to see it. Maybe not being able to hear it will prevent me from having a strike on my channel. So, so let's go ahead and pull this back up. So just that's what the visual style looks like. It's very kind of new, modern, what we're seeing coming out. But this was done back in like 2014. And my thing's slowing down, so we're gonna stop the camera again for a minute. I am getting new internet next week. So hopefully that means that my streams will stop slowing down to a crawl halfway through. But yeah, you never know. So this, let's we're going to go through some characters and kind of tell you who the main characters are and talk about them a little bit. So Lady Miss was saying this is a good series. Too bad it ended before. Yeah, I know. So Lady Mist, have you seen the second season of this? Because I literally could not find it anywhere. So it must be in some obscure place. Supposedly it was supposed to be shown on Netflix, but Netflix doesn't have it.
Where does the first season end off? Because I don't know if I've seen this.
The first season ends right as Michaela or Micah, whatever, and Yoshiro, like they're by the ocean, and they're with a group of people. They're basically with everybody that was in their military group and stuff, and then they're basically headed back to initiate saving Gurren. I'm kind of skipping ahead to the spoilers.
I think I might have seen the second season if I'm Murphy. Sorry, I've got a dog in here who likes to go through stuff.
Yeah, he's huge, like compared to my dogs. I have little mini schnauzers, and he's like a Doberman. So
it's a jump.
Yeah. So Lady Miss said there are 24 shows in season 2. So yeah, apparently so yes, at some point I'm gonna have to be able to find the second season because the first season is fantastic. It is a very, very good action, heart-wrenching series. It's then the thing is like the relationship that you see between Mika and Yoshiro, they're really close, and they're separated because when the vampire attacks and basically kills all the little kids, he puts his hand through Mika's chest, and so he's dying, and he tells Yoshiro to run, and basically so he runs, and he's the only one to escape out of that group of kids, because like while he's trying to kill Mika, Yoshiro sneaks up next to him with the pistol that they stole and shoots the guy in the head. He's a vampire, so it doesn't kill him, but it puts him out of commission long enough for Yoshiro to get away. And then come to find out that Mika doesn't die. He's saved by a different vampire. That happens. You get that story. So you're getting bits and pieces of this story as you're going through the season. It does a really good job of like spacing out the story so that like you don't get everything all at once, and it keeps you intrigued and you start to learn all of these things as you're seeing it. So like, did you have a favorite part that you like, or
honestly, my favorite part is probably towards the end of the first season where they get to reunite with each other, or like Mika, you're messing me up, is running, trying to save you. Oh my gosh, where did the dog go?
He's over there on top of the chair.
Well, when he's trying to save you because he thinks he's in trouble is my favorite part.
Okay. So yeah. Okay, so Lady Mist it's because the first and second seasons premiere in the same year. Really? That's kind of a weird way of doing that, but yeah, it's confusing. So hopefully and maybe what I think is just the first season is actually both seasons together, and because they only show it as one season. Like if you go and look up, because I watch it on Hulu, if you see it on Hulu, it only lists it as one season. So that they probably messed that up. So okay, so Lady Miss is saying we've seen both. Okay. Yeah, they really needed to do a third season. But I was reading about that, and the reason that they didn't continue on into a third season was because they had caught up to everything that had been done in the manga. So rather than pull a Game of Thrones and try and create their own ending and totally mess that up like Game of Thrones did, they just kind of stopped, and they're waiting for more of the manga to come out so that they can actually do it justice when it comes out, which Hollywood could learn a lesson from that. Don't try and outright the writer when you're not nearly as creative as the guy who created it in the first place. So okay, all right, thank you for that clarification, Lady Miss, because that is I've been looking all over trying to figure out like where this second season was. I'm like, I've seen everything that's out, and none of it's called season 2, so it's like all right. But like the stuff that they do in this is just crazy. I mean, they get into like this is basically, as I said in the in the opening for this, you basically got vampires, demons, viral deaths. I mean, this anime has literally everything you could want in a great story. It really does.
It's also got that like school setting where they have to learn how to.
Yeah,
it's kind of like assassination classroom or something.
Yeah. That's right. I forgot they do, because Michaela, when he escapes, is like 12 or something like that, and so basically he ends up in a high school where he's being trained to become part of the demon army. What?
You mean you and not the blonde character?
Did I say? Oh yes, yeah, it was you. So because and that's Yushiro is his real name, but everybody just calls him you. So you could actually just say, "Hey, you," and he would not. I mean, people do that to me all the time, and that's not my name, so that's kind of rude. But anyway, so you end up in like she said, in a classroom setting where he's being trained to be part of this demon army, and Giren is a character we meet as Yu comes out of the. I
was gonna say, didn't he like?
Yeah, he finds Yu as he escapes from the vampires. So that's kind of cool. He's the first person he meets, and he's just this lackadaisical but super hard-nosed military kind of character who like he's hard to nail down, and I really like him as a character. Guren's one of my favorites. And what they do with him is so fantastic. Like his character arc is unbelievably good.
And his whole backstory was really cool to learn about too.
Yeah, because you're learning about him as you get towards the end, and then by the time you get to the end, you're just like, holy crap! It's like you realize just how much this guy has gone through, and it looks like my internet's slowing down again, so we'll shut that off again.
Something that we haven't mentioned yet is their swords or their weapons.
Yes, yeah, that's on my list. So the basically to make the humans on par to be able to fight the vampires, they start creating weapons that are linked to demons. And I can't remember exactly the term that they use. They're like black or something weapons. I apologize. My brain's just shut off. But and so you and a couple of the other kids are powerful enough. Yoshi, he becomes Yu's friend, kind of against Yu's will. After Yu's family is killed, like he has a real trust issue thing. And then he meets Shinogane, which she's hilarious. She's basically been sent to watch him in school because like he won't make friends, he won't get involved with other people. And so basically she gets sent to be like, okay, you're going to be stuck in this school forever if you don't make a friend and start branching out a little bit, because like we don't need lone wolves in the military. We need people who can work together as a team, because that's the only way they've found that they can actually beat the vampires, is like in 5-man teams, because the vampires are just crazy strong. So they basically come up with these weapons that have demons attached to them. And so to take one of these weapons, you have to make a contract with the demon that is imbibed in this weapon. And there's like a whole series of episodes that go into them trying to conquer these demons and gain control of these weapons. And it's just so I'm gonna see if I can pull up some pictures here and at least show you some pictures that I pulled, so I can kind of give you an idea of what the looks for the weapons and some of these main characters that we're going to be following through this.
As cool as I think the humans' swords and weapons are, I think the vampires beat them again in that, because the vampires' weapons like drink their own blood to make them powerful, and then they go up against the demon swords. All of them. It's so good.
All right, so let me share this screen again here. We don't really need sound on that one. So, okay, so this is Mika or Makila. Makila is a girl's name. It's like Mikala. I don't know. Anyway, so this is a dude. Yeah. So, and he's the one that gets left behind for dead and then is saved by the other vampire, which she is really cool. She's basically the queen of the vampires in this area, and her name is Cruel Tepish.
I like her as a character.
I mean, when you have a name like Cruel, it's just going to be good. Unlike Cruella, which was just, yeah, Disney's ruined that. So, and then, oh no, what's that? I'm sorry. How did that get in there? Just a little bit of the male gaze there. I apologize. That was terrible. I don't know what happened. Oh no, there it is again. Gosh dang it! I just don't understand. That's Cruel Tepish, by the way.
Is that why you like her so much?
No, actually, I found that today, and I just thought that's funny. Like, because you never see her that way. You see her like fully clothed all the time. I'm like, so somebody really had an imagination to go back and try and put her in lingerie. So this character here, this is the demon that Yu has in his blade, and it is really interesting to watch the relationship develop between them. And I thought the fact that they made the demon a woman was an interesting choice. Dang, it's bad, man. I know. I'm sorry. I just thought it was funny. I have a dark sense. You know that I have a dark sense of humor. Anyway, so this is basically. This is Giran over here, and then these are just some different supporting officers that are in his unit.
I don't remember. Is that
these four, not counting Mika, these five right here are their own group, and so they're the ones that form their own demon hunting team, and then you've got this group here, basically the same thing. Except for her, she is a supporting character, and I can't remember her name. She actually sacrifices herself at one point during this anime, and just there's so many amazing character moments in this, like so well written, people willing to sacrifice it all for what they think is right. You know, is just
That reminds me of
find a corner and time. Apparently, Edgar agrees with that sentiment that was above. Hey, I thought it was funny. I'm sorry. My daughter's not laughing. She's giving me the face. The same face I get from her mother when I think I'm being funny, and I'm not. Anyway, so let's move on here. So, and this is Lord Fedrig. He's Fidreed. I can't remember how they say their name. He's the creepy, awful guy that basically kills the kids and stuff. And he is a schemer. He is like, you know, if this was Batman, he'd be the Joker when he's talking about they're all the schemers and they have plans, you know. And I mean, this is the guy he'd be talking about, the schemer, which makes him an interesting. He's kind of faggy. He's a little effeminate. Oh, and that's way too tiny to see. So this is you, and this is what happens when he lets the demon take a little bit too much control of him when they're fighting and stuff. The stigmata start appearing on his face, and one of his eyes goes red. And stuff, but it's really cool. Okay, see, there she is with clothes on, and it's not as much fun, but and wow, that ended up being way smaller than I thought it was going to be. That's Girin in itsy bitsy teeny weeny form. And this is Shinogane. She's the girl that is bothering you, trying to make him get friends.
I actually really love her character.
Yes, she is funny. She is part of the ruling family, the Hiragi family. She is part of the ruling class family, and yet she doesn't act like it at all. Like, she's very kind of separated from her family. It's really kind of cool. So we got some comments here. All right. Funimation still has it. You can put up with the ads. People can watch it there with it. Yes. Into Tortuga. That must be something for the dark web. And yes, and Hulu does still have it as well. So if you've got a Hulu subscription, you can watch it there. And I'm pretty sure that it's on Crunchyroll now too, where Funimation and Crunchyroll are essentially the same thing. So then here we have you and Mika and stuff. And they're like I started to say before, their relationship is super, super close. In fact, it's so close and they're so intimate with each other. I was just like, I was waiting to see all of the shippers, like, oh, they're totally loving each other. They just want to have each other's babies and stuff. And I'm like, but I never saw any of that. But like, it's just really cool. They've just got that really intimate brotherly relationship. They really care about each other because they're the only two people who survived out of that little family of theirs that was slaughtered. And then this is just kind of a mural for and like I said, the art and stuff in this anime is just awesome. And so here we kind of see the difference between the Demon Army blades, which are kind of dark black with green edges. And Shinogane, her blade is this huge freaking scythe. It's like bigger than she is, and I love it. It's freaking awesome. And then here we have one of the vampire blades, which his is crazy. When it's going to drink his blood, like these spiked vines come out and wrap around his hand and like winch tight and start sucking his blood to give him power. It just, and some of them, like when the vampire blades go for blood, like around the hilt, the spike, like they have spikes that will shoot out through the back of the vampire's hands and start sucking their blood. It's just crazy. But yeah, so those are some of the pictures I was able to find, so I could show you some of the art and stuff like that. Okay, there was a comment speaker. Try not to talk like a girl again, at least not without warning. That was. What do you mean? I have a beautiful feminine voice when I really. When did I talk like a girl?
I don't know. I was trying to.
You're gonna have to remind me. I didn't realize I talked like a girl there for a minute, but.
I'm
And Lady Miss thought that was funny. All right.
You guys should tell us when
Yeah,
you did that. 'cause
yeah, you're gonna have to
that-
tell me when I did that because I don't remember. Because it's been a couple of seconds, and that's how long my mind works.
Apparently, I just skipped over.
Apparently. But no, so this anime is just great. And I say that about every anime that I review, but it really is kind of the whole package. It's just got everything going on. It's got family, it's got like sacrifice and cool weapons, amazing fight sequences, and oh my god, get back in that corner. What did I do? Oh, you're shipping. Oh, with the shipping comment. Okay, yeah, I probably did. No, but you know what I mean. The shippers are the weird people that are just like, oh, I need to ship those.
You didn't give warning.
Yeah, I didn't give. Oh, I didn't give warning. I apologize. But yeah, no, because you guys know how much I despise the shippers. I cannot stand it when people try and put characters together that are not together at all, but in some psycho's head, it actually works. But yeah, no, it's just makes me so mad. It's like, can't anything just be pure? Can't we just have something sweet and innocent and special without somebody trying to turn it into a sexual depravity? I really, really get tired of that. Because I mean, just if you're going to be sexually depraved, you just need to be more heterosexual about it.
I've lost you.
I know. I'm sorry. My daughter's just giving me the face again. So.
It's not a face.
Yeah. Yes. Anyway, she's been sitting over here like. Anyway, so but no, this really is just a great anime. If you haven't seen it in a while, go watch it again. You will instantly remember why. When I watched this a week ago when I was out in the truck and stuff, I just sat there thinking, why haven't I not watched this in so long? Because it had been, I don't know, 6 months or more and stuff. And like you guys know, when I'm on the truck, I have a lot of time to wait and do watching anime. My internet is just terrible. It just keeps slowing down every time I turn the camera on. It's probably trying to tell me don't torture people with your face. But so I apologize to all of you. But the characters, like I said, we were talking about them. They are just awesome. So you got Gurren. He's the guy that finds you. We got Mikaela or Micah, however you want to say it.
Mika. Positive that the full name is Mikaela.
Mikaela. And you might be right. It just sounds kind of girly when you say it. It is
girly.
Like
it's for sure girly. But then when they
the Japanese
Mika,
don't seem to get hung up on the
names.
Lady Miss loves making this comment whenever I start talking about shipping. Wait, shipping is when you send boxes to No, I wish that was the innocent. Yeah, no. Yes. No, Lord Haster. It's I still think of you as Darth Haster. And welcome, by the way. Thank you for jumping in here. But yeah, no, it was no ship. I wish shipping was just that. Kind of in a strange sort of yeah. I guess that's true. Shipping two people together when they're not supposed to be in the same box. That's a long time. I'm just hearing Obi-Wan say that in my head. Now there's a name I haven't heard in a long time. But no, it is such a good anime. But we've got Mitsuba, and she is kind of an overzealous gal that's in this five-some or whatever you'd call that you was a part of in the demon army. Mm-hmm. And then we've got Shiho, and him and you were like oil and water. They just kind of have a mutual dislike for each other, but
I feel like every anime has those two characters that hate each other, but like will work.
But secretly kind of actually respect each other on behind the scenes.
I can think of a whole bunch. They're like their dynamic.
And I like the guy that voices Ian Sinclair is the guy that voices him. I really like, but the voice acting is just awesome in this. It really does. They do these characters a lot of justice. I've been watching one that Adega suggested to me, what is it called? The Record of the Logos War. And the story is fantastic, but the voice acting is terrible. Like it's an older anime that the voice acting is old, and I really have been struggling to watch it because of the voice acting. It is very 90s, and it is not like they really need to just redo it. Because it's like whoever was doing the voice acting wasn't really paying attention to what they were reading when they did the script. But anyway, then we've got Yoshiri, say his name, Yoichiro, Yurichi. Yeah, there we go, Yurichi. And that's the kid that becomes Yu's first friend because of Shinogane. Basically forces him to, and by accident.
He's just one of those good, nice characters.
Yes,
like he's a wholesome guy.
Yep.
Just wants to do what's right.
Yeah, and like he wants to be part of the demon army, but he doesn't know how, and he's being bullied when he first gets met by Yu, and then Yu kind of stands up for him, and then he ends up standing up for himself. And it's kind of that youthful coming out of your shell, growing into who you're going to be moment. It's just really well done in this anime. And then we've got some of the secondary characters, which I love this guy. Crowley, Lord Crowley is one of the vampire nobles, and he is a total BA. And he is just way overpowered as one of the vampire characters. And then, of course, we've got the Lord Fedrid character, who's the schemer guy. And we don't need to talk about it anymore because he's just creepy. Then we've got Cruel, and she is a fantastic. She is actually the one that saves Mikila, or whatever her name, Mika. I'm going to say that wrong every time I say it.
I don't know.
I'll just turn to you and you can say it. That's what we'll do. And this person. So she actually is the one that saves him, because you come to find out that both you and Mika have been experimented on by like a secret group, and she's aware of this, but like you don't really find out a lot of what happened with that, but it plays very much heavily into the storyline of why those two characters basically survive through all of this, and that they're special. And seriously, what happens to you later in the story when he kind of comes more in contact with his demon side, but he also has, because of these experiments, he has access to like angelic power. It's just crazy when he starts. And basically, like when he taps into the angelic power, he basically can kill everything. Like he becomes the destroying angel almost.
Don't
and
they
it
call
is
him like the Seraph?
Yeah, the second Seraph, the second Seraph. Because they actually summon one of the Seraph of the End at one point, and he is the Seraph of Salt or something like that. And I mean, so there's just like this heaven's wrath kind of thing going on. Very, very biblical references, especially towards the end of the second series or second season, or the end of the first season, however you want to describe that.
Towards the end.
But it is crazy cool when the Seraphs start to show up, and then there's fights between, because the humans are basically trying to gain enough power to defeat the vampires. But basically the vampires are only where they're at because the humans were screwing around with these powers in the first place. And so it is just, you really end up sitting by the end of this anime going, I don't know who to side with. And it's like, there are no good guys in this. There are like, basically the good guys are the kids at the end who have realized that they're fighting bad people on both sides. Like the basically the two major powers that are left are basically the biggest problems, and that they both need to be basically wiped out. and stuff, and that they've been playing with human lives and are responsible for billions of deaths, from the virus to the vampire enslavement. And you kind of get a sense that Cruel is aware of what's going on, and she's basically playing both sides, trying to basically balance the scales again, and the destruction that's been going on between these two groups. It is just, seriously, the writing for this and the storyline it just pulls you in, and you just want more. And which is like what Lady Miss was saying. You end up going, I want the third season. Where is it? Gimme. Which, like I told with Adega when he did the book, the Blood Witch, and I was so mad at him where he ended that book, because I'm like, no, you can't do that. It's like, dude, you got to keep going. but no, it's but yeah, it is just an amazing story. I cannot suggest it enough. Go take a look, go rewatch it. You will not be glad. It is a very worthwhile way to spend your time.
You will not be glad.
Did I say that?
Yes.
You will not be sad that you did. Anyway, sorry. It's been
you won't be happy that you watched this series.
You will hate yourself. You will hate the speaker from the dead. You will want him dead. No, sorry. It's been a very long week for me, so my brain is, yeah. You will be glad that you watch this. You seriously will. The characters are fantastic. Even the ones that are just kind of there and then gone, you're just like, it's amazing how much they can do with just the little amount of time that they're on screen. There's always something being added. And the demon that Yu deals with most of the time is called Ashimaru. And
Which I like her.
Yeah, she is just, for a demon character, she is really, really great.
I feel like she's one of those that are like trying to tempt them, be like, you should do this bad
Yeah.
thing. And she's always in the background. You're like, okay, that's cool. We're going to ignore you right now.
And yet there's a kind of a weird sense that she kind of likes and respects him at the same time, because he's really just a good character. And the only reason he wants this connection with her is to avenge his family and to set the world right. And it really, really leaves them in an amazing place as a duo, basically, as a team. Anyway, that's really, unless you guys have any questions out there, I suggest, like I said, you can watch this on Crunchyroll. Funimation has it, so does Hulu. It is really everywhere. But that's how good it is like a lot of people want to be able to show this, and that usually is a good sign that an anime is doing well or is worthwhile. So anyway, that's where I'm going to leave it this week. Next week we are going to be talking about, probably, it's one of those ones I saw when I was first getting back into anime, like a lot of these, and I've waited to talk about it for a while. It's called Akame ga Kill, and it is just so good. Super awesome revenge story, and the overall story arc for that one is fantastic. Cannot wait to talk about that with you guys next week. I want to say a special thank you to everybody who is here today in the chat, and thank you for contributing. It was a lot of fun. Sorry about my internet going up and down. Next week, I hope I'll have my new internet going, and I won't be like turning the camera off and on and off and on, and because I'm sure when I go back and watch this, I'm going to be like, why am I all pixely like that? But and everybody will be like, we didn't notice. You look terrible no matter what you did.
Yeah, like we liked it. When
Your daughter looked cute, and then it pixeled, and we didn't like that. But I mean, she's always cute.
There was also a comment by Lady Mist that I thought was really funny. Let's go back to the shipping topic.
I'm going to order something this evening.
Don't you just want 2 humans instead of what you ordered?
What company? What company are you going to try and get that from, lady? I hear RussianBrides.com might do something like that for you. Or CroatianBrides.com or so, I don't know. I was watching Big Bang Theory the other day, and they were talking about that. So That's why it popped into my head. Anyway, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for coming in to talk today. She did this at the spur of the moment. She came over to have dinner with us, and I'm like, "Hey, have you seen Seraph?" And she's like, "I love that one." And I'm like, "Hey, you got to come talk about it with me." So, anyway,
Anytime.
Yeah. I mean, Amazon's evil enough; they'll ship 2 people in a box. Yeah,
Probably.
I mean, sure. Go ahead. Jeff Bezos doesn't care. We're all just faces with money for him to take, really, at this point. Anyway, thank you guys for being here, and we will talk to you next week, like I said, and we'll do same bat time, same bat channel. So 5 p.m. Mountain Standard or 6 p.m. Central Time, and yes, brides, brides.com. Anyway, thanks for being here, guys, and we will talk to you next week. Bye, everybody.